Rams. They fumble their bag real bad. Now here's the question I pose to you guys because I'm very curious to hear. Is this more and Dale? Matter of fact, no, I'm gonna start with you. I'm gonna put you on the spot because you just got here.
Okay.
Here's my
Right.
question: Is this the fact that the Rams just kind of wasn't up for this game and the 49ers was, or have we been overrating LA the whole year just because of Matthew Stafford?
I think that it was one of those things that the 49ers got up for this game and the Rams didn't. I think because the 49ers knew the hype that was coming in with Odell and just everything that has happened this week. So they were kind of looking at it like, everybody just expecting us to lose. And I think LA kind of expected the same thing since San Francisco has been struggling as of late. They haven't played, their greatest football. So they just kind of thought that they could walk in there. This would be an easy fill out game for them to get Odell acclimated and things of that nature. And I think it kind of showed just the way that they like the effort wasn't really there. Like you could kind of tell that they didn't really look at it like it was a contender. I'm not gonna say right now that it's too early to kind of panic or throw them away as far as a Super Bowl favorite because they have had Freddie is stupid.
Very,
I'm
very.
I'm I'm glad that well, like I said, I'm not gonna put the onus on them just yet that they are not a Super Bowl contending team. Basically, what I was saying because they have won some contending games, some very competitive games against teams that people thought that they were going to lose to. So I'm not going to give them that just yet. Now, I mean, obviously, if they drop the next couple of games, then obviously we're gonna have to have a different conversation. But I think right now, just with everything that happened, I think just the kind of the pressure was on for them. The moment was kind of maybe a little too big. And I think the 49ers are just going to come in and just pretty much came in and stole one, honestly, or were stole one at home, I should say, because they were in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And they pretty much just stole one and just was like, they kind of probably knew that they weren't gonna come at them the hardest just because, like I said, everybody expected the 49ers to lose anyway. So that's kind of what I think about that. I think that they still are in Super Bowl contention. Like I said, if they drop the next couple of games, then we can definitely make that assessment. But I think it's too early to just toss them to the side like that.
All right. So Dale, this is kind of going to you. A lot of people believe that the ball was kind of being forced in OBJ's direction. Um, you
Mm-hmm.
know, because with them picking him up with the whole addition, all that stuff. So, but here's my question: Is of all the games to force OBJ, since this was his first, it wasn't this the game
Mm-hmm.
they should have forced him, considering not only Robert Woods went down, OBJ
Mm-hmm.
barely had any practice. If he had practice, it probably was
Mm-hmm.
one game, and on top of that, they
Mm-hmm.
probably just did a whole bunch of film with him. Don't you
Mm-hmm.
think, like, if there was one game to force him, what wasn't this going to be that game?
I don't think so. I think that Odell. I think with Odell, he has to because, like you said, he did just join the Rams like literally this week, and
Mm,
they haven't had a lot of practice time. Like you said, they've done a lot of film studies. He still has to learn the offense. So I would have spread it out a little bit more if I think that was part of the problem that they had is that they were trying to force feed him, and it's like you can't when you're trying to ease somebody in, you gotta like baby step it a little bit, like kind of get their feet wet, see exactly what you're because it's different to see somebody on TV and then to actually play with them on the field. Like it's two totally different things because now I have to scheme for you in a different way. You know what I'm saying? So now I feel like they should have eased him into the offense and like integrated him a little bit more, and then gradually as time came along, then they could have started to force feed him a little bit because force feeding off the rip, that's expected. We expect you to do that because that's the
right.
consensus. Odell needs the ball. Odell needs the what I'm saying. So everybody was expecting that. So that's why I don't think it was a good idea for them to be trying to force feed him.
Right. And then, Dale, let me ask you this. With this loss, because Matthew Stafford, 26 for 41, 243 yards, one touchdown, and two interceptions. Does this kind of put a hamper on his old MVP resume that he was putting on together this year?
No, I don't think it was a must win for the Rams. The record's good. I think it was a must win for the 49ers, if anyone, to at least stay in the hunt.
Yep.
I think the Rams, yeah, they didn't have to go in there with a winning method. I think they could have blown one, which they did. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean, Someone said Odell will not fit on that team. I disagree.
Same.
I
I
think
disagree
he can.
too.
I understand on paper saying he won't fit. I get it on paper. But at the same time, we also have to take into consideration with Robert Woods going down, I genuinely believe you give Odell a week, he'll be able to fit. Because again, he was upset, probably was upset, but he really wasn't upset that he wasn't touching the ball. He was upset that he was losing. And again, I want to put some context. When Odell, his first year in Cleveland, he really wasn't getting that many touches. He wasn't mad.
But they were winning. Yeah, they were winning.
And then he says he needs a team tailored to him. He is not a feature on the Rams. I disagree. He is a feature. He's not the feature, but he's one of them. Because if you got to pay attention to him, because if you leave him open, you know what I mean, and let him get in a situation where he's more comfortable, you're screwed. Mike, how you doing today, bro?
What's up, Mike?
I'm doing good, fellas. Glad to be on, man. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I'm here.
Nah, you good. So I want to ask you a question, right? I want to ask you a question.
How you doing, hon?
I'm good.
Yeah, let me ask you a question, because some people here believe Odell would not be able to fit with the Rams. Do you think that Odell can fit? And if he can, is it something that's like, because someone just said it's the same problem that the Rams have, the same problem the Lakers have. Is it a situation where Odell's not a natural fit and they have to force it? Or do you think that he can just, naturally fit in?
That's a great question. Odell is a diva. When he was with the Giants, it was catered to him. Can he be a role player? That's the key.
I think I'll be honest. I think he can be. Only because if you think about it, his first year in Cleveland,
he got no choice. He got to be.
But his first year in Cleveland, he kind of was a glorified role player, if we're going to be honest.
Yeah.
That's the conversation people ready to have. You know what I'm saying? For me, you said Odell's a diva, and I agree. I think all great players, if you're a great player, you got a diva in you. And I think
you gotta have that confidence. You gotta have that confidence.
Exactly. The thing is, what it really comes down to is winning, right? Like for instance, Aaron Rodgers is butthurt because they couldn't win. He can't win another Super Bowl. He went on his whole tirade, which makes him a diva. You know what I mean? Now again, Odell is in that same category. The only pushback I give is, I don't want to say no names. I don't want to be mean. I'm not going to be mean. Somebody that's going to be completely anonymous today, Alana, you know what I'm talking about, had the nerve to say that Odell was trash. The nerve.
No, hell no.
Yeah.
Mike, I kid you not, man.
Yeah.
I was Dale.
Yeah.
Dale, Mike, I almost threw my phone. I was this close, but then I realized I can't do that. I need my phone.
No.
I can't go crazy.
Man.
Pen on my phone, so I can do that. But they said that he was trash based off of 1 week. Here's the question I'm gonna ask everybody, and I'm gonna start with you, Dale. How long do you think it'll take for us to give a proper assessment on Odell fitting with this offense?
I say at least a season. Have him go against some good teams, have him go against some bad teams and average teams. And then we make an assessment next season once we actually